have to manifest the carrot in my box if I want it.
I've taken over programs that have not always been successful and tried to find a way to change that.
So whenever you're connecting your battery, you want a socket. Be careful when dealing with the battery because it can kill you.
We'll make some bacon jam up from scratch. We're gonna put some chicken together for you right now.
You have to leave. Can't talk to anyone, okay? No calls, no texting, nothing.
It had to be you, wonderful you. It had to be you.
Here we go!
And we are so happy to be back. Sometimes you have to step away. You have to get things in order. You know, we've got this desk thing going on. We're going to have a way to show you some photos in just a little bit. So that's going to be really, really exciting for the crew, for me. And there was a bit of delay because we have had really crazy weather in the Midwest. And I don't know where you live, but you know, we would have some warm weather, and then we would have a lot of wind, and then we would have some cold weather, and then people would forecast torrential downpours, and then maybe there would be a freezing situation. Anyway, we canceled our last show because all the forecasters said, you know, this is local, this is regional, this is national news. All the forecasters said, you know what, stay at home. We're going to have a lot of snow. We're going to have ice, right? And we didn't want to put our guests, we didn't want to put our cast, crew, we didn't want to put anybody in danger. So we stayed home. And guess what? Sunshine. I mean, it was nice. It was nice. And let me tell you when it's really nice to leave the Midwest is in January, when it's freezing cold out and there's ice on the ground and there's snow coming down, and you get onto a plane and you're afforded a free trip to the Dominican Republic. Yeah, that happened. Thanks. Yeah, I know. You know why it's super exciting? When you don't have to pay for it. And that was the case. We did not have to pay for this trip. We actually won it through a sales initiative. Beck's Seeds, I don't know if you know that, but what that is, but my significant other, a farmer, and Beck's Seeds, if you sell enough, they send you to really nice places like this. And this is the Dominican Republic in Punta Cana. Some of the most beautiful resorts, some of the most beautiful golf courses. By the way, they prune and pluck and rake and do all the stuff, I mean, beautifully. And the excursion we wanted to take was to learn more about Christopher Columbus. Do you guys know who that is?
Isn't he that director?
The director. No, it's definitely not the director, Rob. I mean, this is exciting stuff. So let me show you this. How's this technology working out, Rob? Is this good?
Well, you tell us, you're the one using it.
Yeah, I think it's terrible. I mean, I'm trying to show you guys something. I'm trying to be a storyteller here, and I am failing miserably. But anyway, yeah, if you go into Santo Domingo, you will still find some descendants of Christopher Columbus. We'll show you their castle where they lived there. That belonged to his son, Diego Columbus. So very cool. And apparently during that time, the people were much shorter than they are now. But anyway, a really good time. The argument, though, as you're driving into the capital city, who has the remains of Christopher Columbus?
Preston.
No.
That's why he was late today.
All right. So he died in Spain, and there's what is this? See? Look what happens when you know what? Now you're just getting too personal. We just can't. We can't do this. Okay. We're definitely going to edit. So, man, these things are just the story here. Apparently, they believe if you hang stuff like this in your house, back in the day, it would scare away evil spirits. But that, to me, looks kind of evil, right? And look at these doorways and such. Isn't that awesome? Look at all this cool stuff we're learning, guys. But anyway, and then the flag, of course, the red, white, and the blue. Freedom, people, and the blood they are not afraid to shed to protect, their land and their people, and to fight for what they believe in and their way of life. And all right, we're going to give you a little chance to find out something else about the Dominican. There's a stone in the Dominican that is found on the seashore there that washes up, and it's a rock, and you can only get it in that part of the country. So I'll give you the rest of the show to figure out what that is. How does that sound? Is that good? All right. Well, look, I'm a little nervous because I understand that the next segment today, and Rob is off the camera going, the next segment today is designed to melt my brain? Is that what you said? Okay.
I have chosen someone specifically to do that.
All right. So a brain melter is on the way. Okay, stay right there. We'll be right back.
Do you want the carrot?
I want the carrot.
Because only you can manifest the carrot.
I want the carrot.
Into whichever box that you choose.
Yes. Okay.
So which one is it?
Hey, stick around. Coming up, we have a motivational discussion with Coach Kerry Martin.
He's the man. I've interviewed him a few times. He's incredible.
My name's Meredith Lukens. I'm a physician assistant at Christopher Rural Health. I currently practice at the Christopher office. My favorite part of the job is the relationship with the patient. I enjoy when patients return and I get to hear about vacations or their kids growing up. It was a lot of the reason I got into medicine, was to make those connections. We can really just be kind of the home base for anything you need and get you to the specialists in surrounding areas. My name's Meredith Lukens, and we would love to have you call the office and schedule a visit today.
To prepare these students for this really high-tech industry is to do hands-on work. So we have to be here and we have to see them face-to-face and give them immediate feedback, right? To show them if they're improving or if they need to go in a different direction. So we want to make sure that we teach everything that they need so that these students are ready to go to work.
I'd really recommend coming and getting the 2-year degree. If they need to transfer to get a 4-year, this is a great jumping off point, especially for the low cost. It'd be well worth the investment.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Spiel. This time, right now, we have a game show that we're gonna play. I want to mess with Angie. I've been wanting to do it for so long.
What did I ever do to you to deserve this?
All kinds of things.
He's right.
But this is gonna be so much fun. So here are the rules of the game. There are 2 boxes, and in one of these boxes is a carrot. Now, you both want the carrot, okay? Lucas is allowed to look into his box.
See, so unfair already. Already.
This is why I wanted to do this game, because she talks so much. So Lucas is allowed to look in his box. Angie is not. Lucas has to try to convince Angie as to whether to switch the box with his or keep her own. Now, the winner will be the one with the carrot in the box. You cannot pick up the boxes. You cannot open them. You ready?
Can I look?
You go ahead and look in your box.
So unfair. I'd like to look in mine. Oh, you think you got it, huh?
This is a game of Battle of Wits.
Battle of Wits.
All right. Go ahead.
Well, okay. So here's what I want to propose. Okay. I want to know how much you know about quantum physics.
Quantum physics.
Yes.
Well, I definitely didn't study it.
Okay. Well, I mean, they've really only made some really new discoveries in the last 10 years.
Okay, new discoveries.
I don't know where this is going.
And it's basically about, how you can become one with the universe.
Yes.
And your thoughts and your feelings and, manifestation and all that stuff. Okay?
Okay.
So it really is up to you. Do you want the carrot?
I want the carrot.
Because only you can manifest the carrot.
I want the carrot.
Into whichever box that you choose.
Yes. Okay.
So which one is it?
I need more clues, Lucas.
See, here's the thing: is the universe and quantum physics does not work that way.
I have to manifest the carrot in my box if I want it. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Absolutely.
That sounds like pretty sound logic to me.
It does?
Yeah. Don't you dare.
Don't you dare, Angie. All right.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
My box.
Your box.
Might be it.
Yeah.
But your box also might be it.
No, I don't think I have it.
So you're switching.
Are we switching?
You're not?
Yes. There's not a carrot inside either.
All right.
This is a hoax. You have duped our audience, and I don't appreciate it.
Is that your final choice? Prescott, get ready to come up here and show inside the box.
Switching again. You know why? I like this paint job better. That's a very superficial reasoning.
Are you keeping that?
Are you positive?
Yes.
So.
All right.
I've made a decision.
Prescott, go ahead and come on up here. Angie, open your box.
I think we've all been duped. There is not a carrot in any. Yay! There is.
Lucas, open your box. There's nothing in your box.
See?
All right. We will be right back. Coming up later,
we're going to take you guys in a new direction with the Turn restaurant. Get it?
But first,
we work very hard to build that relationship with all of our players as best we can so that we can do a better job of coaching them.
Regenerative procedures come into use if we lose a tooth. And I've had a lot of people come to me and say, well, I had a tooth pulled, and I'll say, okay, has there been any discussion about what comes after that? Because removing the tooth should never be the end all of a discussion when it comes to having to remove a tooth.
Well, this gentleman needs absolutely no introduction. Coach Kerry Martin, thank you so much.
That's a pleasure
for being here. You know, I was thrilled to see you not very long ago. You delivered an uplifting and inspiring message at Cornerstone Church in Marion, Illinois, and you spoke of so many things. And I had to bring you on so we could share some of those things with our guests. Longtime coach, educator. We were sitting here talking about how, man, kids are really different these days, right?
Yeah, I think kids are generally the same, but the world around them has changed, and that has changed them in a lot of ways. And I think that's the big challenge. I think the big adjustment that society's going through is how to handle the influence of the cell phone and the information overload that our kids are facing. And so I think when you strip it all away, kids are still kids, but I think the way we have educated them is going to change over time because of the way technology's changed.
Right. When you're a coach, many times, you know, people think about you being a rough and gruff and in your face and mean, and the kids are, you know, frightened of you. What does it mean to be a coach now, and what do you feel like those relationships are with your young people?
You know, I think when I got into coaching, I was coaching at the beginning of the end of the old school era, and I think it was that way of coaching we talked about. It was rough, it was tough, it was grabbing face masks, and it was part of the coaching mantra was to be that forceful, powerful leader. And I think when I first started, there was a lot more of that within me because that's the way it was done, and that's how most of us growing up at that time were coached. But over time, I really began to see how things were changing. I think that the idea of building relationships with young men really sparked my interest. And I think I've always wanted to do it, but now towards the end of my career, it's much more intentional.
Right.
And I think you want to discipline a child in today's world, there better be a relational foundation developed first.
And respect.
And a respect level so that you can properly discipline, and a kid understands that this is about part of your behavior, this is about words you use, this is about a choice you made, it's not about you personally. And a relationship helps them understand that. And so we work very hard to build that relationship with all of our players as best we can so that we can do a better job of coaching them.
It's so much fun to watch. I'm an SEC fanatic. I mean, I'm a longtime Auburn fan, and any type of football, it is fantastic to experience that. But the fact that you've shared with me that you do care about them on that other side of the spectrum, I love your 4-H theory. Could you share that a little bit?
I can. You know, we've always tried to get to know our players beyond the gridiron. I have players that come from a large difference in demographic. I have kids of all races. I even have kids of different gender now. I have kids that...
Do you have smelly kids? You talk about them coming in your office and if they're really sweaty.
I do. I've had...
You still love them.
I've had a lot of sweaty hugs, a lot of smelly hugs, and some of them are the best. I have kids that have money, kids that may not have as much money. So we have to learn to relate and then perform at a high level together.
Yes.
So we, over time, have worked to build relationships with our kids. And one of the things that we've done is to get to know them and ask them certain questions and have them share. And I heard a coach a couple of years ago talk about he had taken this idea that I had and I'd been implementing, and he said, I've turned it into the 4 H's, which is tell us about your history, tell us about your heartbreak, tell us who your heroes are, and tell us what your hope is. And I was like, coaches steal everything. I said, I'm going to use that. And so I took what I'd been doing and I put it into 4 succinct questions that I think when we share them with each other in our small groups, we really get to know each other on a level that I think creates greater empathy and greater understanding for me as a coach. But I also think players start to understand each other better, and we got to build that. When they used to call that chemistry, we now call that culture. That's the buzzword in football today or in sports today, is you got to build this positive cultural environment that then you can play at a higher level because you have a foundation where the players care about each other.
Yeah, and they're watching you. They want to make sure that they do well for you in a lot of different ways.
So
we're going to go to break, and then when we come back, there's a couple of other things that I want to talk to you about. In particular, I mean, you're probably being scouted like worldwide now. You're just that good, right? I mean, you've started at the smallest programs, and now, I mean, you're kind of a big deal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I came on here.
All right, we're here with a big deal when we come back.
Thanks.
Picture it, you're home away from home and in some of the most beautiful places anywhere. Well, what are you waiting for? Now is absolutely the best time to buy. Larry's has 100 as is. They're cheap, folks. What you see is what you get. RVs just waiting for you to hook on and haul out. All inventory needs to move, and that should be music to your ears.
Okay, you cannot let a football coach come on to set and not have some fun with the game, right?
Got to.
Okay, so when I texted you this morning, I said, hey, could you bring a football? Do you have one readily available?
Always.
And you're thinking, what? Like, we're going to see if the guys can throw like a spiral.
Right.
Spiral the football.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Have I spired the football for you today?
You did. I saw it earlier. It was excellent.
Thank you. I'm going to attempt to do it right now with Jacob, okay? So here's the deal. You go over there. Go long, go! Okay. All right, so here we go. You see this? You got hands here,
Grip.
and you're pull it, right, Coach? What's the?
Yeah, you want to
pulling
snap it
down, right? Okay, right?
Yep.
All right.
Can you give her a set height?
Yeah, I can. Are you ready?
Yeah. Do you see that, guys? It was a little turn.
Let's give her one more shot.
One more
You
shot?
want one more? Okay. My first one was straight and perfect. I mean, it was really good.
Let's do a straight and perfect.
Okay. I'm kidding. We're not doing that. Okay.
49?
Well, okay, that was really bad, so I'm worsening. So here's what we're going to do.
Time's a charm.
Jacob, can you spiral the football? And Coach, I'll let you catch it.
I'm going to catch it.
He's going to catch it. I want to be at it because I've seen him throw.
That wasn't bad.
Wasn't good.
I'm a film student.
All right, good deal. All right, we'll be right back. Coach Kerry Martin here, and he's been talking about the relationship with his players and how you've cared about them not only on the field but also off, and you want them to be good human beings. You know, you want them to win. I mean, let's make no bones about that, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, we're here to win, boys.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
What do you say in the huddle? Like, just get it done.
Yeah, we'll say all kinds of things, but that's a good one too.
I think that was the really nice version.
It was. But I think when I first jumped into the coaching profession, I think we really focused on the outcome, the winning. And the longer I've coached, the more I've learned it's the process.
Yeah.
And the winning is a result. of that process. And so we focus really more on the daily process, the speed work, the culture building, the weightlifting, the practice, developing the best practice schedules we can, simplifying to make sure we get better execution. So it's that process our program has developed that I think then the result, we hope, is victories. And again, winning matters. We're still in this to win football games, but that's just a part of what we're trying to do.
Well, you have proven that you have the secret formula, the recipe, whatever it is. You've had a long career. You started in your 20s coaching, and at some schools that people may or may not know. Yeah. But when you go in there, you seem to know something, and these kids perform for you. And you're just remarkable to watch, because I know you take it also personally as well.
When I went to Salem High School, my hometown of Salem, Illinois, our football program was not very good. And a coach came in my senior year and he changed the program. And I saw him change young men who changed the team and changed the school and really gave our community an uplift.
Yes.
So I think part of the reason I'm coaching today is because I loved and I saw what he did for myself and my community, and so maybe I wanted in some ways to do that myself. And so I've taken over programs that have not always been successful and tried to find a way to change that. Sometimes it happened very quickly, and sometimes, in the case of Marion, it didn't happen quite as quickly, but you have to be willing to adapt and adjust and know your environment and know your community and know your kids.
Man, that's tough, though, juggling all of that.
It is extremely tough. And I think one of the things that mattered the most is just hiring the right people to work with you, because this is not something that I've ever done by myself. I mean, this is a collective work. Everywhere I've been, I've had great coaches, a loving family, great parents, a wife of 36 years, great understanding kids who shared me with my football family. Yeah. And so I think just getting the people in that community to work together towards a common goal, that's the key.
You've had enough accolades that you know you're doing the right thing. Let's talk about some of those pinnacles for you.
Well, I think, as a coach, I think you won a state championship in 1996. And I feel like winning it when I was young forced me to really step up my game as a young coach. And also, all of my family was living at that time. My parents were both alive. And what I've learned over time, though, is the impact of moments like that are really just about family and about associations and relationships and those common bonds we share. And we can talk about milestones as far as victories. We can talk about championships. But in the end, the only legacy I really have is in my kids. My students and my players are my legacy. People forget very quickly about wins and losses and winning percentages and championships. But what will never change is the legacy that I and my staff have tried to leave in our kids, and watching them grow into young adults and business people and fathers and husbands. That's where we hope our legacy lies.
That's incredible, and I think more people should live their lives that way. Thank you so much for sharing that. You've just been an absolute joy, and I could sit and talk to you all day.
Yeah, the fact that just being surrounded by the right people, I've been blessed everywhere I've gone to change schools 4 times, to coach in 4 different programs, and to have a supportive family,
right.
First and foremost, but to have the Lord put the right people in my path. Just feel very blessed. I don't know what I'm well equipped to do in this life, but I know the Lord put me in a situation where the skills that I do have were used well in coaching and teaching, and I feel very blessed to have done that and continue to do that at this stage of my life.
Just a name synonymous with, football and leaving that remarkable legacy.
Thank you so much,
Coach.
I appreciate the opportunity, for sure.
And we'll be right back.
All right, coming up next, we have Wildflower Honey and the Hot Biscuits.
Nobody else gave me a thrill. With all your faults, I love you still.
Coming up later,
I'm here with esteemed actress Toni Collette and her co-star Bella Heathcote to talk about pieces of her.
The Spiel presents You're On, 100% original new music.
Hello, everybody. We are Wildflower Honey and the Hot Biscuits from Paducah, Kentucky. And we're going to just entertain you today with a little vintage flair. We hope you enjoy.
It had to be you. It had to be you. I wandered around and finally found that somebody who could make me be true, could make me be blue, or even be glad, just to be sad, thinking of you. Some others I've seen might never be me, might never be cross or try to be boss, but they wouldn't do, for nobody else gave me a thrill. With all your faults, I love you still. It had to be you, wonderful you. It had to be you. Some others I've seen might never be mean, might never be cross or try to be boss, but they wouldn't do, for nobody else gave me a thrill. With all your faults, I love you still. It had to be you, wonderful you. It had to be
I'm a structural project manager and structural design engineer. So I design buildings and non-building structures. I didn't come from a lot of money, so money was tight, and everything that I had to do, I had to pay for myself. So I could work during the summer, and I could literally pay for my whole semester and everything just in full, you know, compared to if I went to a university, I'd have to take out a loan. So that was a big thing for me. Another thing was the smaller class sizes. That was really appealing to me. Being in a class of 200 versus 20 or 30, you can really ask questions and get a lot of input from the teachers and professors and things like that. So I've made a lot of friends, lifelong friends at John A, still in touch with them, and some of who I actually work with. So definitely a good experience. And then, like I said, all my classes, they taught me a lot, and definitely wouldn't be here today without what I learned from John A.
It is a name that you want to say over and over. Wildflower Honey and the Hot Biscuits. Guess what? That's my jam. That was kind of corny,
Good
right?
pun.
It was a little
No,
bit.
I love it.
Yeah,
I like
so
it.
anyway.
I'm stealing that.
It's our jam. So here's the deal. You know, I have different ways of recruiting, scouting, looking for talented individuals like yourselves, right? And so I go to this event and we'll give Sir Ken Gray a shout out, right?
Yes.
He will
Heck
love
yeah.
that.
Awesome. Yes.
He will absolutely love that. Now we're going to show you some video. When I walked in, I was late to the party, but it was a Roaring 20s theme, right?
Yeah.
And you had this fine thing up on stage and she's just doing it to it, and then all this accompaniment back here, and I'm like, I just have to be on stage with them. So that's what I did. Walked up on stage and spent a lot of time with all the different instruments and all the different musicians that you see here, and you guys were so receptive to that. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you are stunning,
Well, thank you.
talented. The
God bless you.
sounds, and I mean, you're amazing. You're fantastic, and I recognize that straight away.
Wow.
So you said you even want to get to a point where you're able to perform periods, like if people want 70s, 80s, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Talk
we
about
just,
that.
We just take them back. We take them on a kind of a nostalgic journey through music, and I think there's a lot of people that kind of are hungry for kind of that old vintage throwback feel, because it just makes you feel good
makes you feel
inside,
good,
you
yes.
know?
Jacob, who's a 20-something, he said, I feel like I should just be standing there with some drink with an olive in it listening to you guys.
I love that.
So, all right, let's go behind you there. Tell us, I mean, obviously, here's a lot.
Well,
you need a special car.
I've had to get a different car to carry this thing around. Originally was a guitar player, and then I played bass for about 15 or 16 years, just regular bass in cover bands and rock bands, country bands, anything we could play.
Fantastic.
And then actually I got this for Christmas, and I thought it was really cool. Then I saw her playing at an event one time, and I was like,
she just Wildflower Honey at that
she
point?
was just Wildflower
She was
Honey
missing
at
her
that point,
biscuits.
and she was like
right.
honey with no biscuits. And I'm like,
right. Can't have
and
that.
I was like we should get together and do something. Partially because I wanted to learn how to play this better.
Good.
But I said, you know, we can do something that has a different vibe.
Yes.
You know, we want to be sort of like the ultimate cocktail party, background music that people just love. But we also want to be able to turn it up, and we play covers, and, you know, we do Taylor Swift and, you know, whatever people want to hear. It's been a whole lot of fun, and we're really looking forward to doing some more stuff.
Awesome. You ready? You got the stage. You ready for this?
I guess this is the only thing I'm really kind of good at. And
it's for a Hot Biscuit, we need a hot guitar.
I don't get tired of it, so.
Good. Always something different, like people coming up on the stage and you're like, what is this chick doing? Yeah, I get
didn't
it.
mind it. You know, you're cool.
Well, good. I'm cool. I'm cool. Okay. And then this is a sensual, sexual.
Wow.
When you got the saxophone,
And
dude.
now she's gonna talk-
Listen.
You're gonna make me
It's
blush.
It's one of my favorite instruments.
Are you with me?
Piano and then sax.
I mean, you got the girls with.
We're like,
So
Well,
talk
thank
about
you.
your love of the saxophone.
I started playing music when I was very young in Southern Illinois here, and I grew up playing with a group of musicians out of Southern Illinois, playing the saxophone, playing rock music. And then these guys came along a couple of months ago, and I was the slow rising biscuit. So,
Okay.
you know, coming out of the oven a little
Tons
late.
of puns. I love it.
But I was so glad that they had me, and I was able to do something a little bit different than blues and rock and roll all the time.
Awesome. Listen, it's fantastic. I think it's what the world needs. I mean, don't we all love variety, the spice of life, right? Where do you want to go from here? You said you're very close to wanting to do this full time. So what are your aspirations?
Kind of my vision right now is to get into the jazz scene in Nashville.
Okay.
Because it's very, very up and coming right now.
Love that. Yes.
So we've got some connections. We actually made a connection with somebody my mother has been friends with for years, who is
Nice.
a Grammy award-winning producer.
That's what it takes.
From Nashville. And he's kind of helping us get our foot in the door there.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. My
So
mom
he'll
is a
see
jazz
this,
singer
yeah.
in Memphis as well.
Oh,
If you're
really?
ever on Bill Street, check her out. Her name is JoJo Jeffries.
Well, we expect JoJo to
So-
come here on this stage. How about that? And then
Well,
you guys sing
she would-
together.
Oh,
That'd
we
be
would
great.
love that. Yeah. Yeah, we
Well,
would love
you're
that.
you're just so talented, and the music speaks for itself. And again, thank you so much for agreeing to come out and be with us today. And I know we're going to be seeing and hearing a lot more of you guys.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. And we'll be right back.
It's kind of like Rob doesn't want to pay for people to do things for him, so he's just going to learn it himself. Let's go fix this engine.
So today we're gonna make some herb cream cheese stuffed chicken, and then we'll make some bacon jam up from scratch.
My name is Megan Plummer. I'm a family nurse practitioner here in Cesar. I think community is very important. It gives me a chance to really know all of my patients. I would say my favorite part is just when I have a new baby out of the hospital and I get to watch them at their 2-month and 4-month and 6-month well baby checks. And I've been here over a year now, so I've gotten to see them turn a year old, which is one of the coolest things. The patients, I feel like, know that we are here for them.
We need you to subscribe to YouTube so we have as many viewers there as we do on Fox. I think we're at like 1 million plus.
So this is going to be like a little segment of, it's kind of like Rob doesn't want to pay for people to do things for him, so he's just going to learn it himself. I mentioned one time in a podcast that we did that I can learn anything, and I fully believe that.
That's how I started my whole entire career. Was YouTube. I learned everything on the internet back in 2003 is when I started.
So I had a problem. We drove to St. Louis, and by the time we got there, there was smoke coming out from under my hood. It's super scary. So I got out to go check it out, and it turns out there's like some oil that was leaking onto like a really hot part of the engine, and that's what it was. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to sit here and learn how to do it. I'm gonna watch some YouTube videos, and then we're gonna go out and actually fix my car. Let's go. All right, so now that I've watched the videos and learned what I gotta do, they showed me a bunch of tools that I don't have, so I need to go get those now, so let's go. All right, so we just got back from the store. We got all the tools we need, I think. Let's go fix this engine. All right, so one of the first things they said was disconnect the power. And I don't feel like dying today, so that's the first thing we're gonna do. I don't have a socket, you guys, so this is what I had to use. Oh, I heard it. Hey-o. All right, now we're ready to take this guy off. So now we get to take this and take all these 1,000 bolts off of here. That was a scary sound. Did I get this guy yet? Nope. Oh my God, there's so many. Now is a scary, scary moment of truth. Just trying to pull this off of here without breaking anything. Nope. This one's not moving at all. Let's see. A butter knife it is. Here's a disclaimer. Probably don't do this. I had to call for reinforcements. Butter knives weren't cutting it. Nope. Oh. Okay. Now we gotta pull it off, all the way off. That smells like burnt oil. Oh my God, dude, that's like glued on there. This is the old gasket. That's supposed to be rubber. Now the next thing I gotta do is actually put the new valve gasket in, and then I've gotta like seal it with a little bit of oil. Well, now we get to shove this thing down in there. Some kind of how. Yeah, it goes like that. Right in here. All right, so I think I got most of it. All right, it looks like we are back where we started. Okay, so now I'm gonna screw these back in. Okay, those are good. Clip's still on there. So whenever you're connecting your battery, you want a socket be careful when dealing with the battery because it is a lot of whatever it is that can kill you. All right, looks like we're good to go. Now's the moment of truth. We're gonna start it and see how things go. Make sure you stand back at a safe distance. Is there oil shooting out anywhere? But I think we're good. It sounds good. We're gonna check it over the next couple days and make sure that there's no oil leaking out, no smoke smell. So hopefully I did everything right. This has been Rob Doesn't Want to Pay for Stuff, and so he fixes it himself segment for the Spiel by It's Raining.
When disaster strikes, it's nice to know you have someplace you can go while rebuilding your home. Contact Larry's Trailer Sales today. Not only do we have units available for those needing a place to call their own, we also have items many people may be in need of, including freshwater hoses, power products, and all your camping essentials. Find Larry's online at larrystrailersales.com, home of the RV warranty forever, serving you since 1966.
And we are spieling it in the kitchen, brought to you by Prairie Farms. We have just a rock star here. Chef Chris Banks, he has been sharked, scouted. You're at the Turn. And I know you've seen them on social media because you guys are doing a phenomenal job of not only bringing in the diner to appreciate what you make, but to also see the process.
Absolutely.
And that can be fun.
Absolutely.
Right? You're teaching people stuff.
It's probably my favorite part too. You know, getting it out there. I mean, nothing makes me happier than to see what we put on a plate and then, grab my camera real quick for it. So I'm taking a picture of it before even the customer sees it.
That's
I'm
awesome.
ultimately taking a risk because if they don't like it. I mean, I've loved looking at it, so, but I mean,
well, that's what they say is you eat with your eyes first.
Sure, absolutely.
And you have thought of everything. You actually even have a searing, like you would brand cattle and like your burger buns and stuff or steaks.
So these branding irons for like a leather belt or anything you would use it for. And I'm like, I seen a picture of somewhere somebody had done a bun for a sandwich, and I was like, oh no, that's a game changer because no one's done that. So today we're gonna make some herb cream cheese stuffed chicken. I'm gonna do the whole process here for you, and then something I've been playing with a lot of is this new bacon jam, and it can go on pretty much anything.
Yes.
So we're gonna do it actually incorporate it with some grilled asparagus or pan-seared asparagus today. So we'll make some bacon jam up from scratch. We're gonna put some chicken together for you right now.
Okay, sounds good.
So I got this herb cream cheese base. So Prairie Farms cream cheese works perfectly for this, and then some of your favorite spices, herbs, anything you like, you can put anything in there. I mean, so I like to use the double low breasted chicken. If not, you get a chicken breast, pound it out kind of thin.
Okay.
And then you're just gonna kind of put that in there and fold it over and let the magic happen from there.
Okay.
So we've got, your basic egg wash, panko, Japanese panko breadcrumbs. So you're just gonna actually do like a wet, dry type deal here.
Exactly.
So on this, you don't really necessarily want to fry the chicken too much. You're just going to kind of coat both sides to get the butter incorporated. So then we've got it going to a sheet pan here.
We're going to
go to the oven, and this is about a 20-minute cook time. So
at 350?
At 350, 375. So I'm going to put some gloves back on here, and we're going to go with some bacon jam.
Okay. People are just intrigued by that when they hear bacon jam.
So it's kind of like candied bacon. So you're going to see a process here, and I'm like, so you just dice up bacon.
Okay.
And then you're going to dice some onions.
Raw. That's the raw bacon.
Raw bacon, raw onions, and you're going to...
I think that right there alone would be lunch. That would be a perfect lunch for me.
So, we're selling it on everything. I've got it on a bacon jam Gouda burger, and with the Turn stamp on it. And after you caramelize the onions and the bacon fat together, then you're actually going to mix together some brown sugar. So that's going to start caramelizing the bacon jam.
Okay.
And then it gets kind of weird. You're like, so there's coffee in this
There's
coffee in this, and it comes towards the end. Once it all kind of comes together and caramelized up, then you're going to get a splash of coffee and some balsamic glaze at the end as well. So this is going to cook. I'm going to add a little bit more of that brown sugar in there. You're going to start seeing it turn real caramelized here soon. Make sure we got some just regular coffee here, you know what I'm saying? So you're just going to go back, it's kind of a weird deal. What does the coffee do? I still haven't figured it out. Maybe it just brings all the ingredients together and binds them.
It might.
And so the last ingredient is just a little bit of balsamic glaze. That's the bacon jam.
All right, good deal.
I'm just going to cut our asparagus. This is going to kind of all just incorporate now with the bacon jam here. And we've got that, and we'll turn the heat back up a little bit.
I thought maybe you were just going to do like a little drizzle, man. You're going all in.
We're going all in. You guys get to go all in here, so.
Yes.
You're just going to let that simmer down.
All right, so this is where the magic happens when you plate it, right?
Yep, magic happens when you plate it. This is where you get your cameras out.
We got it. I wish I could take a picture. Okay.
Everybody knows how to make some mashed potatoes. Everybody's got mashed potatoes recipe. They made them before, so I like to start this dish off with the mashed potatoes kind of in the center. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place some of this bacon jam asparagus, which looks amazingly fire, right? But here you go. So here's our stuffed chicken.
Oh, the star of the show. So that goodness inside is just ooey gooey then, right? Is that
ooey gooey?
Okay.
Yep.
Good.
So that herb cream cheese, you cut into it. You get you a knife or fork or however you want to get at it.
Okay. The other thing we were going to mention, I did see on your. This is why social media works, right?
Sure.
So the owners of the Turn also happen to own a Krispy Kreme, right?
They do. Yeah.
Okay. So one day I see him in the kitchen and you're cutting up Krispy Kreme donuts, right?
Absolutely.
He's making bread pudding with the Krispy Kreme donuts, everybody.
So you just crumble them up, make like an egg custard, nutmeg, vanilla.
Yes.
Couple eggs, lightly beaten, milk, and you're actually gonna just mix all those donuts in together, and then you're gonna bake it until it all.
Oh my gosh.
Incorporates.
Hey, thank you so much. That's wonderful, and I will definitely have a heaping helping of that too in just a little bit. Okay.
You've got to have the
homemade
heart whiskey sauce. So this is actually a whiskey and rum sauce that one of my chefs have created. So
I want to get in the middle so I can get that good stuff. Good job. We'll be right back.
Hey, stick around. Coming up next, we have our Spiel on Entertainment film and TV critic, Tim Estiloz, is going to talk to Isabella Heathcote and Toni Collette about Pieces of Her.
My name is Michaela Davis, and I'm a new F&P here at the DuQuoin Community Health Center. Everything starts with preventative care. So very important, I think, that we can really change the way a person's life will turn out if they just do preventative medicine. Just having an established provider that you can follow up with on a regular basis just to check and make sure everything's going okay, I think that can really make a big difference. This is where I grew up. I want to take care of them like they're my family or how I would want my family to be taken care of.
So the gist of this story is the mom played this lady right here. She is, let's just say she has one dark past, and she takes her daughter, the innocent one here, on a twisted journey. I've seen this thing. That's all I'm going to say about it. We're going to let Tim Estiloz tell you more.
You ever have that thing where you think you know someone as well as you could possibly know anyone, and then one day, you were totally wrong?
Hi, everybody. I'm Tim Estiloz with the Spiel on Entertainment, and I'm here with esteemed actress Toni Collette and her co-star Bella Heathcote to talk about their brand new dramatic series debuting soon on Netflix entitled Pieces of Her. Hi, Toni and Bella. It's a pleasure to chat with you.
Hi, Tim. Likewise.
So my first question is to you, Toni. When you read the first few pages of the first episode script, what were your thoughts about this series and the journey it was going to take you on?
I was excited to read it because it is a true thriller, but it also is grounded very much in the relationships, and there's an honesty to it, and there is meaning behind it, and so it was a beautiful combination of things, you know. But that particular scene you're talking about, yeah, that I was like, whoa, this is going to be, if this is the beginning, where the hell are we going from here?
And for you, Bella, you and Toni, your characters are mother and daughter. So what was it like for you exploring all those complex and more complicated aspects of that dynamic?
I think it's what drew me to the story in the first place. I love the arcs that both the characters went on and how they, ultimately found their way back to one another as completely different people. I loved that element of it, and the fact that I feel like, Andy starts off as this kind of directionless young person with low self-esteem, just having like the worst birthday ever, and feeling that like everything in her life is a mistake and that she's a mistake. And then as the story progresses, like in learning about her mum, she's kind of like ultimately set free from this misconception that she has about herself, and she grows in self-esteem and grows this real grounded sense of self. And I just thought how awesome to be able to play that arc.
That was something, what your mom did. You don't have much time. You have to leave. You can't talk to anyone, okay? No calls, no texting, nothing. There are just some things you don't understand.
Final quick question. Both of your characters have sort of a creative side. Bella, your character is an artist. Toni, your character is a concert pianist. So if you were a singer-songwriter and you lost that ability to be able to perform, what would that be like for you?
Well, I think it's so different with this scenario because she's doing it out of, like, it's a survival. She has to give it up in order to actually make her life safe. It's a really different scenario. But I miss singing. I started when I was really young in musicals before I got into acting, and I miss singing. It is a part of me, and so I did. I think I did understand that kind of loss of expression. And there's a scene, later in the season where she is reacquainted with the piano, and it's so moving to see someone kind of come back to their way of expressing themselves and what that brings up in them.
Well, I want to thank you both. It's been a pleasure chatting with you, and hoping that many, many people enjoy seeing this new series coming up called Pieces of Her.
Mom, just tell me the truth. Who are you?
Back then, it was all tangible and physical. And I used something called a mimeograph machine, which nobody in this audience of yours will ever encounter as long as they live.
Well, many of us got to know you over the years, myself included at a very young age, watching you on Entertainment Tonight.
Someone at 3,000 miles away at Paramount Television here in Hollywood saw it and called the newly installed executive producer of Entertainment Tonight. And he said, "You're looking for a film critic, aren't you?" And the man said, "Yes." He said, "Well, I just saw a guy on the Today Show. I think he's worth checking out." My phone rang a few days later. To make a long story short, I got hired on the strength of my audition and was still there 30 years later.
Well, what's amazing about this show and your experience is that this was very unique at the time when you started.
It was the first of its kind. There was no E! Channel. There was no Access Hollywood. There was nothing else quite like it.
So, Rob, is this what you thought would look super cool, like to show all of you guys?
It doesn't look as cool as I thought it would.
Yeah, it really doesn't. And I would like to apologize to our audience that we are trying to. Oh, whoa, sorry. I would like to apologize. Okay, I'm glad see, I told you we'd have some fun with this technology. So there's a couple of stories I have to tell you before we go in this show today. Okay, I have to move on. So this is a spa, right? Have you ever gone to a spa and you're like, oh man, it's gonna be right. You have a frame of mind before you even get to the spa. Like it's about relaxation, right? I'm about to just chill, okay? Have you ever seen that show where are the cameras hidden, like the hidden cameras? I knew that I was being recorded this day, so I go out. I decided to go 2 hours early because they told me that I could use the facilities, right? And there's a steam room, there's a wet steam, the dry rocks, and then there's a pool, and then I'm gonna get the massage, right? So anyway, this young lady, really nice young lady, I'm sure to some people, led me to the steam room. Okay, stayed in the steam room. I was there 10, 15 minutes, started to sweat. I'm like, I've had enough of the steam room. I want to go out. She's standing there and she says, back in. She would not let me come out of the steam room, okay? So she says, I've timed it. And I'm like, she's apparently a hydrotherapy licensed mean person, okay? So here's the deal. So I go back in, I start sweating, I'm hallucinating. I'm like, I gotta come out, right? So I come out, I'm making my way over to the little juice bar here. She says, you come back. She takes me to the dry sauna now with the rocks, and she makes me stay. I am looking around like I'm a grown woman, okay? I'm 50 years old, and this young girl is telling me what I can and cannot do, okay? And after all of that torture, she walks me by the juice bar. I don't get to stop at the juice bar, okay? I don't get any of that. She walks me over here. Would you guys like to know what this is? This is an ice pool. And I'm a 50-year-old woman, and she goes, and I'm like, she's like, I walked down 2 steps. My breath, she has to see that, right? She goes, I finally say to her, as I'm struggling to breathe at this point, I can't go. She goes, fine, you can get out. But look at I want you to see this girl, because I told her, I said, I'll be showing the world your picture. She's mean. She's mean. Okay? And you can tell I'm scared to death of her. Look at that. Scared to death of her. Okay? So this guy was super cool, though. I did have to have some of these bowls. Look at what you could learn, Daniel, on the beach down there in the Dominican. I mean, we could make like basket bowls. They're bowls, but they look to be a basket, and they're made out of these leaves. Is that the palm? Is that the bamboo? I think it's the bamboo leaf, maybe. But let me tell you what. These guys are hardcore. They walk with these tables on their backs down the beach. Not just come out with a little case, you're interested. They have the whole flipping shop they brought to you, okay? It was an experience, and I'm happy to share it with you. Okay, I told you earlier there's gonna be a stone we're gonna talk about. There it is, the Larimar. Larimar is a Dominican cultural heritage. Beautiful stone, and I got one.
Let's see it. Oh my gosh.
I deserved it. I deserved it because I lived through the hydrotherapy lady person, right? So yeah, I'm very proud of that, but it's supposed to bring you calming. I'm no longer afraid of her when I wear this, you know, it was a deal. All right, so that's it. We're back from vacation. Did everybody feel like you went on vacation today? I did. Anyway, we have told you many times on this show, we love it when you send us things. This Prescott was really impressed with because of the packaging, right? Oh, yeah. So when you take this beautiful box, it's very sturdy. When you take it out of the box, there's a message for you, which is fantastic. I was super impressed. Open it, again, very sturdy. They're always sending you a message. You know, it's a new age, it's an experience. Welcome to the new age. Beautiful little readers, glasses if you need something. They don't have to be ugly anymore. But I wore these yesterday, and I was called many things, but I haven't. It's a real vibe.
Let's go. Those are nice.
That's how I would have looked at that lady. I would have been like, if I'd have had these on, right? Well, no, I wouldn't have been able to see her because it was fogged up because of all the torment she put me through. Caddis, we appreciate you. Fantastic. And if you need readers, or just to look cool, maybe some blue light glasses. I think you asked for that. This is the brand. All right? Anything else? Could we have more in this show?
There's always more for the show.
There's always more for the show. We'll see you guys next time. It was a good time. It was filled with history. We went there, and the excursion we wanted to take was to learn more about Christopher Columbus. You guys know who that is?
Isn't he that director?
No, it's definitely not the director, Rob.
I'm a film student.